Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone, and we continue with football. The Ascension Football Tournament in Trinidad and Tobago is in full swing, and the feedback from viewers right across the region is that they've been enjoying our coverage on SportsMax and SportsMax 2, as well as the SportsMax app. This is how the table looks after 7 match weeks. Rangers at the top of the table. They've played 7 matches, and they have a total of 19 points. Police FC in second position, and then Defence Force right there, 1 point separating Police Force from Defence Force. We have Cunupia FC in 4th position, and then Moruga in 10th position. They have a total of, how many matches? They played 7 matches already. Well, match week 8 starts today, and these are the fixtures. Terminix Lahokita Rangers versus Cunupia Police will be facing Defence Force, and we know that battle separated by 1 point. Moruga up against AC Port of Spain. Deportivo Point Fortin will play Westport, and Central up against Central Soccer World. Well, moments from now, league leaders Terminix Lahokita Rangers will tackle Cunupia FC. So, George and Lance, what I've noticed from the Ascension Tournament is, a lot of teams are standing out. And Terminix, who will be up just now, they've stood out. They are yet to lose a match. They actually have a total of 6 wins and 1 draw. Can they keep that up when they play their match?
Well, they look to be, not much between them and 3rd place. In fact, 2 points away. They're a point ahead of 2nd place and 2 points ahead of 3rd place. So, it's tight going among them. So, I wouldn't be willing to anoint them the favorites for the title just yet, but what I'd say is that they've started very well, and the teams in 2nd and 3rd have been putting pressure on them, but they have not been cracking so far under that pressure. So long may their good form continue. I want to say quickly though that I'm rather concerned about the team at the foot of the table, Moruga.
Yeah.
Have you seen Moruga's goal difference? Can we get the table again, Mr. Producer? Moruga's goal difference caught my eye. It's minus 27. Yeah. They've let in 31 goals, scored only 4, and they are the only team in the 10-team competition without a point on the board. Now, Moruga FC, that's really, really, really bad going, and perhaps we need to get some insight as to what kind of struggles are unique to this team. Maybe it's a group of young players that didn't have any experience at this level in seasons past, and so are greenhorns at this level. But you rarely see a league table after 7 games with not even 1 point on the board, suggesting that Moruga are extremely overmatched in this competition, and I feel it for them.
Yeah, definitely, and as we saw, the numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah, the minus goal difference, as George mentioned, minus 27, that looks pretty awful.
Yeah, and I'm going to pose the same question.
But just before you go to Lance, I'm wondering, every time I see Moruga, I always think of the Calypso, the one that says, the iron of Miso Bazodi, because she was saying that we don't
Moruga man.
Moruga man. Right,
well, yeah. So it has to be a man from Moruga.
That's Alison Hyde.
Alison. Yeah. Apologies, Alison. That's your song. But yeah, the Moruga men aren't doing so well this season, Alison. Not doing well at all.
Something has them Bazodi.
Something has them Bazodi. I like that.
All right. So to Lance now, we're leaving the Moruga men alone, right? Lance, Lahokita Rangers, doing brilliant. They're at the top of the table. Do you expect them to continue?
Well, for this weekend, I would think so, even though Cunupia is their opponents this weekend, coming up right now, pretty soon.
Moments from now.
They're in 4th place, actually. So the doubleheader that we are going to see this afternoon is a top-flight doubleheader. It's Rangers in 1st against Cunupia, who are 4th, and Defence Force and Police, who are 2nd and 3rd, battling in the night's game. So I would think that Rangers would remain leaders at the end of this weekend. But to be fair, I think Police and Defence Force are so close. I wouldn't want to call it at this point, because the Police team is also undefeated. I think they have 2 drawn results. So pretty tight. Rangers consistent though, so you've got to give them credit.
Yeah, I think the match against Police and Defence Force will be very exciting too. It's one that viewers wouldn't want to miss a moment of the action. All right, well, we're heading to Jamaica now. 4 games will be played in match week 18. These are the fixtures. Montego Bay up against Canvillare, Mount Pleasant, playing Waterhouse. Annett Gardens face Dunby Holden, Harbourview up against Humble Lion, Vere United will see Portmore, and Tivoli up against Malines.
Actually, Mariah, just for the benefit of the viewers, because of their involvement in CONCACAF club football duties, both Cavalier and Waterhouse, the teams we would recall, met in the final last year. Yeah. Cavalier winning the competition, Waterhouse finishing second. Their fixtures have been postponed from the weekend. So even though it's on the fixture list, they won't be in action, Waterhouse and Cavalier, meaning the two teams that they were set to play are also going to have time off this weekend, so that Waterhouse and Cavalier can prepare for and play in that
they would have already travelled because they're playing on Sunday.
Republic. Yeah.
They're playing in the Dominican.
Do we know yet?
We haven't gotten that new date yet, but the fact is that 2 games won't be played in the usual 6, only 4 this weekend.
Okay, thanks for that, George. Well, the biggest news heading into match week 18 is the decision by Portmore United to sack head coach Lenworth Hyde and replace him with Philip Williams. Williams will actually work under the title technical coordinator. So Lance and George, both of you are very close to the action. Portmore have gone 6 hours since their last goal. Good move to hire Williams and sack Hyde?
Well, it's usually, I have no sympathy for coaches who get the sack. Yeah.
But if they're good, George.
Well.
So the story that he was sacked?
Yeah.
Because I saw that he resigned for personal reasons.
Well, I mean, Lenny Hyde has given such great service, and I say great in the true sense of the word, that the club would be loath to communicate that they asked him to leave. So there's some form of PR management there, but I think the real thing is that he's been separated from his job. Yes. So I say that to say that I have a lot of time for Lenny Hyde. I think, well, it's not even I think or anybody else thinks. Lenworth Hyde Jr. is one of the greatest football coaches in Jamaica's history. He has a record that is unmatched. Yeah, and his respect is tall. It will never be diminished. That said, Portmore have not given him what they can potentially give him, and he has not gotten from Portmore what you would expect Lenny Hyde to be able to coax from individual players and a team under his guidance. So I think it is sensible for Portmore to seek to lead the team with someone else, another approach, another philosophy, another principled approach to guiding the team. I think it is sensible to do so at this time because Lenny and this Portmore batch together weren't meeting each other's expectations, and so I think it's fair. Philip Williams is hiring. Philip Williams is an astute coach. He's a bright coach. He is innovative. Players respond to him at the schoolboy level, at the senior level. Tivoli Gardens, there's been no success with Tivoli, but it looked as if it was promising while at Tivoli. Let's see how he gets on at Portmore United, because so far his career suggests that he's an excellent schoolboy coach, but managing schoolboys and getting the best out of adults in the competitive Premier League is a different matter entirely.
Yeah, Lance, your take on this?
Yeah, well, he did get Tivoli to the playoffs last year, didn't he, Philip Williams? So I think he has shown that he can handle himself at the top flight. Portmore will be a very, very difficult task because, as George just mentioned, Lenny Hyde's log as a Premier League coach is very impressive.
Unmatched.
Yeah, titles with 3 different clubs, Harbourview, Portmore and Tivoli. So Lenny Hyde knows how to win titles at the Premier League level, schoolboy level as well.
Right.
But Portmore, to me, has a roster problem. Their squad this year just hasn't delivered the kind of, well, first of all, from an experience standpoint, they have too many inexperienced players in their current squad. And they were just, there was a game I was doing, they had about 4 teenagers on the park. Not that teenagers can't play Premier League football, but it is a process. And even the senior players in the Portmore team weren't the usual top flight, top draw senior players. So I think Portmore has a roster problem. So Philip Williams has a very, very difficult task in resuscitating Portmore's form for this current season. And I wish him well because I think he's a coach that understands the game and knows how to get the best out of players. To George's point about coaching youngsters, which he has shown that he can, he will have quite a few youngsters to coach at Portmore. So I think it's a good challenging job for him. But as far as a turnaround is concerned, I'm not sure that Portmore has the tools at the moment.
As I would say, just quickly, to a point Lance made, the fact is that Philip Williams' Tivoli were in the playoffs last year in a strange season, a season of only 10 games. Yeah? And so, yes, the playoffs in that season. But if we were to ask the question, is he proven as a Premier League coach? The answer is no.
Right.
Is he proven as a schoolboys coach? Yes. So he's a proven quality, high quality operator at the schoolboy level. At the Premier League level, he has shown signs that he can be that. But there isn't enough in the CV at the Premier League level to say, yes, he can. So Portmore are gambling, but they're gambling on someone whose potential for success is good. Yeah, so it's positive. So I welcome the appointment.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward. I mean, we can catch all the action right here on SportsMax. We'll look and see how Portmore does under their new coach. Well, as we go to the break, we'll leave you with the goal and save of match week 17.
Reevaluates, then decides to go long. Reed is across there. Trayvon Reed, delightful ball, and what a save that is to the night guard Stewart. He had to go down low real quickly, Constant Bernard, and pulled off a wonderful save.
Stewart there.
Oh, that's a big save.
Big save.
That
when you
is
look
a
at
big
it.
Save.
The goal was
Defender. Vital interception there, but they do come forward again. Oh, wonderful stuff! It's Tariq Ziminis! Oh, that's a brilliant run, and an effortless finish from the 17-year-old. That's why he was bought, to light up nights like these, and Mount Pleasant 2-0 up over Malines United.
Picked it up in the middle of the park, and look at this change of pace and energy, skill, everything. Composure to the far post. And yeah, Jonathan Campbell was late, and he paid the price. Great finish by Tariq Ziminis. His first for Mount Pleasant, his second of the season. And another goal for Mount Pleasant.
He is going to remember that one. He really will remember that one for a long time. And what a finish that was.
Stay with SportsMax on YouTube and follow us on all social pages for updates, news and entertainment.